Oh no! I've forgotten. I've forgotten to set my titles. I went and hit play early. Oh no. I think I can do it now. Oh, there we go. We've changed the titles. Oh, and then starting up the chat would be good. There we go. Okay. So, when last we met... God, it's like every time back in the day, playing Dungeons and Dragons as a kid. It's like every new session. When last we met, our doughty heroes did something stupid. Good times. All right, well, when last we met, we updated the Platts and the Aurora firmware, and both were highly successful. I had some issues with the Platts, I will admit. It locked up on me a number of times. I think I had my envelope going into the trigger input. Now, obviously, that's not really proper, right? That's not really correct. So I wonder if that had something to do with it. Like, it was getting the rise of the envelope as like a bunch of different triggers, like, you know, and like maybe that was just overwhelming its poor little processor or something like that. But it definitely sounded cool. So we're gonna make sure we make some use of that. So I looked into it a little bit more also, and the FM. There's 3 FM, 2-voice FM things. Each of those has 32 presets, which is kind of crazy. They are very, very similar in a lot of cases, which is why I couldn't, I was like, let's count the presets, and I tried to do that, and I was like, this doesn't add up to 32. They're, just extremely similar. Oh, damn it. I had some little short cables and some right angle cables at home. I was going to bring them, and I forgot. In fact, I've forgotten like 3 times now. So I think the upgrade path, the next upgrade, is going to be to take out the dual drive and the ornament and crime and put something cool here. And maybe it will be a looper, but it might be like a miso cornflakes, which are hard to find, so I don't know if that's going to even be possible anytime soon. And if I do the miso, it's only about like cha, so that I can probably stick like another filter in here, which would be totally dope. Or put a filter here and put the clouds next to the cornflakes, so we have like our chunk of granular kind of thing. So anyways, that's what's happening, and I just got to kind of look out, and I'm going to do a lot more research into the Lubad. I've watched a little bit of the video that Instruo put out, and, it's very exhaustive. Their videos are great. But since I wasn't really buying one, I didn't I didn't invest the full 2 hours into watching their gigantic tutorial video. Hopefully that's understandable for the average person. But, kind of cool, though. It'd be nice to be able to add in, like, little interesting sound effects, even, like, natural sounds, like, water, birds chirping, and things like that. That would be kind of cool. Be able to kind of inject that stuff. But I don't know, because I've thought about the morphogene before, and the morphogene kind of works like a weird looper. And I've always kind of been like, not really my style of workflow. So, you know, we'll see. I'm going to make sure my RBar is totally cleared. I think it, nope. It's not. See if it's clear. This won't light up when you hit the shift key. So, all right. Let's do a thing here. What thing to do? I don't know yet. I think I'm going to end up probably using the subharmonicon tonight, so that might be a good place to start. Probably a good idea to plug it in. You know, usually a useful thing to plug in your electronic instruments. All right. Mixer is totally zeroed because I didn't even have anything plugged into it. All right, now let's move my keyboard and set up some subharmonicness. And that means moving my microphone and then the camera as well. So subharmonicon, if you're not familiar, it's this happy little thing. It's basically two oscillators. All right, but it's got two subharmonic oscillators. Now, that might not mean anything to you because it's, you know, it's kind of complicated, I guess, in a way. Subharmonics, if you know the harmonics series, right? So picture like a C, like a really, really low C. Oh, that was perfect. If you double a frequency, let's say you're like 100 hertz, all right? You double it, 200 hertz. You double it again, you go up another octave, 400 hertz. But see, then there's 300 stuck in the middle of that, and that would be a G. So when you take multiples of the frequency, you get a certain series of notes. C, G, C, E, G, B flat, C, D, E, F, G, A, B flat, B, C. Okay, and so on, all the way up. So the notes get closer and closer together as they start approaching, you know, higher numbers and stuff. And you could theoretically go on forever. Usually, you know, people kind of deal with like the first 16 stuff. All right, so subharmonics are going the opposite direction, but with the same thing. So your first interval is going to be down an octave, which is normal, but then your next one is down a fifth. Not up a fifth, down a fifth. So if you tune your oscillators to a C, now you're down to an F. So doing something like playing a minor chord is not the easiest thing to do with this. It can be done, of course, but it is not an easy thing. So, like there, okay. So, how to actually set this up? Number one, you got to tune your oscillators and think about like what kind of stuff you want to do with this. So, here's my first oscillator. That sounds like a D to me. And then the second one, I was actually thinking. I was actually considering going in like D minor for stuff today, just because it's going to be a little bit easier, or more like a D Dorian. You could do A minor might be okay, and then I put them an octave apart. So then each step of the sequencer here, you can select like, okay, what is it going to trigger? Is it going to trigger, which note is it going to trigger? And then there's these polyrhythms, which essentially takes a clock pulse and it's like a multiplier for your clock pulse, right? So it's a funky little beast. Now, the only thing is it only has one envelope for both oscillators and their subs, right? So if we add a sub, then we've got that. And then obviously we can tune each sub to do different things. So then what you can do is tune each step, hit next, let it advance to the next sequencer step, which it should do. That's like a C major chord right there. So like F. So I could actually just cycle through these. But that's when you start putting in the weird multipliers, and then they start mixing around and doing funky shit. And then obviously you've got filter, classic modular filter. We can slow it way down. And then obviously we can also give it a clock. And what I would like to do is just to take a moment and play around a little bit with the Aurora and the subharm. See if anything cool pops up. So, if you notice, my Aurora has different light colors. It used to be all green and blue. Now it's purple and gold. And that's the newest firmware. Well, not newest. It's different. It's a feedback delay network reverb. That's, I think, more of like a stereo diffusion control. You can put it on like reverse and shit and do some cool stuff. It sounds really, really nice now. That's honestly, that's the upgrade or the update that I'm the happiest with, because I was not terribly stoked about the Aurora. I always thought it made everything sound like it was like really crappy, like real audio compression from like 1998. Just giving, you know, that FFT cruddiness to it, and I'm like, I don't really like it. I mean, it's capable of some cool sounds, mangling and weirdness, but like that's really not my jam. So that it's a nice reverb, it really gives some extra options to things. And add some blur into it. Oh, that's so nice. It's just glorious. Just whoa! Which, of course, is exactly what I've been looking for. Like a giant, expansive space verb. That's it. Now, what if we just use the regular, the FX8? And maybe dial in a different reverb on this one. Make it a little bit quicker here. There. That'll allow us to hear reverb tails a little bit easier. So I have two FX8s here. The left one is mostly delays and chorus and such. The right one is almost all reverbs and some delays. Holy endless verb. Okay. So I think what I want to do is capture some layers into the RBar of the subharm here. I'm going to go ahead and set up the RBar through a filter and do that whole thing, because I do like to run this through a filter. I should have changed the reverb. I should have changed it to reverb. Damn. Actually, I still can. In fact, it won't take that long. I'm going to do it right now. Because, honestly, the delay does some goofball things with the outputs. It becomes not really stereo. One side is like echo only, or delay only. It's really odd. And so you lose that lovely stereo spread that is kind of the whole purpose. Oh, I'm going to play with RBar. I always play with RBar. Silly mortal. I am going to need a flashlight, though. Yep. And let's pull this. I'm going to pull the cable for now. Oh, never mind. It's annoying. Okay. So the switches are right here. And they are so damn tiny, they don't even look like switches. Right? They're right there, aren't they? Yeah. No, now I don't see them. What the heck? Dude, I just did this. How is it missing now? The components are gone. We're sorry. We have stolen your components. Your switches are no longer evident. Oh no, they're there. I think, yeah? This is crazy. I actually had this problem when I updated it before. When I switched these out, I like literally couldn't find the switches, and I'm doing that now. Like I can't find the fucking switches on the back, and that's just the weirdest thing ever. That should not be a thing. Like I see solder traces, I don't see components. They should be right here along this side, and I did just use the. Oh, that's why. It's because I flipped it over to the wrong side. Like, okay, never mind. Shit, which one was it? All right, which one was it? I have the RBar manual, I think, like right here. Yeah, it's like right on my desktop. Oh, and in fact, it opens up right to the hardware configurations. Perfect. Stereo panning configuration. No, I was like looking for reverb. Stereo reverb. Okay, BY. So the top one is flipped down. They're both flipped down. Okay. So, I'll do that. There's one. B. And then that one is already down. Okay. Cool. Done. Note to self. Look at the right side. Mm-hmm. Yep. Always a good idea to look at the correct side. All right. Now, let's get this shit put back together. Assuming I can. Okay. Apologize. I apologize. We are sorry. The module that you have been seeking, instruo.RBar, is not in service. Please check the name and dial again. All right. Boom. Boom. Bickety. Boom. There we go. Okay. Wait. No. I got these kind of like knurled screws with one module, and I don't remember what it was. And they're nice. They're okay, but they stripped instantly. Not only in this module, but in one that I have at home also. So, okay. And I'm going to hit play. Let it play back. All right. Now, where are my cables at? Yo, where are my cables at? Let's grab the output here. Chonkity chunk. And I do like it in the popple. Popple is a good filter for it. But maybe actually, let's change it up today. Shits and grins. Shits and or giggles. Change it up. Do something different. Do want to keep it stereo, of course, because, well, stereo rule. Especially if you have headphones on. Which you should. All right. We'll put this in the end. Okay. So, try. Hello? Oh, yeah. Yep. Drive way up too high. All right. So I'm just going to capture like 6 buffers worth of this. One. There's another one. Come on. Okay. Why you no play? There you go. Last buffer. The final buffer. All right, and then there's our RBar. And now we flip this to the omega, which gives us all of the buffers, and then we flip this to wet instead of dry. Subharmonicon, let's get you out of the way for now. Fuck out of the way. Fucking jerk. What a jerk. Okay. I don't know what we'll do with this. Sure. Maybe just patch it straight in and be done. I don't know. No sound? Why for no sound? Mixer on. Everything going. Oh, because I'm not firing any grains. So now if you put it right at the border between the gamma and the whatever that is, the third and fourth buffer, that's like midpoint, right? So that if you give it a bipolar CV source to start doing modulations, it should pan back and forth nicely. And we'll just give it some sleuths. Some sleuths. Okay. And then the mod input here, I'm going to give it a channel of the junction right here. So if you give it positive voltage, you basically increase the reverb. Okay. If you give it negative voltage, it goes to a wet only. And listen to this thing now. Yeah. I gave it a Sloths. So it's a bipolar CV source. It's just flipping up and down in like pseudo random fashion. But it's not. It's Lorenz attractor math shit, you know. Maths. Oh yeah. I gotta reload my clock settings and stuff here. Maybe we'll actually start it, you know. Be logical here. God, that's just gorgeous. Like right away. Instant amazing. Well, I'm using the Junction. Now this Junction, I talked to you about it when you were looking at mixers and stuff. This Junction is a 4-channel DC coupled so you can run CV through it or audio. But each channel not only normalizes on the inputs and the outputs, but then each thing here is an attenuverter or attenuator. Attenuverter also. You can give it negative voltages, and it'll act as just a straight voltage offset. It's a brilliant little module. It's like 90 bucks. 4 HP. It's fucking great. So like, right now I'm just using one channel to just go into the mod input and like cranking it to negative 5 volts and turning the reverb to 100% that way. But then I mean, geez, like, listen to that. That is incredible. And it's just chilling. Now, what about different filter models? Now, we can also run this, like, more in the high-pass range, which is probably a good idea for what we're trying to do here. So when it's all the way down, like, there it is on low-pass mode, right? So we can cycle it to high-pass. It's got a variable, like, mode knob here. So you can kind of blend the two together, which is really cool. Do some wild shit with like peaking resonance and stuff, right? Like basically turning it into a bandpass. Or a band reject, depending on what you're doing. This is a wild filter. It's kind of all the money. It's unfortunate. It's like $600 for this filter, which, I mean, that was a splurge. I knew it at the time. Like, goddamn, I could buy 3 stereo filters for that of different types. But I'm glad I got it, because it's universally useful. Like, I never hated it. It replaced my beloved Mankato. This is just a fantastic filter, but as you can probably see, it's a bit on the large side. It's it's way too big, but God, it sounds so good. It's made by SDSTG Sound Labs, and it's got basically 8 outputs that are just different phases. So when it's in filter, like when you're using it as a filter, it's like 6 dB, 12, 18, and 24 dB, and then it has the reverse phase of those around the other direction. If you turn up the resonance and have it self-oscillate, you can actually use it as an octature LFO. You'll have 8 different LFOs. You know, that's not a bad idea. I think you would enjoy the Mankato until you were ready to pass it on to somebody else. It's a fantastic sounding filter. I gotta look it up. I'll think about it. I don't think I'm gonna use it because I don't really have the space for it in this rack, and then my small system, I definitely don't have the space because it's small. You know. But my God, this is really, really nice. What if we just did something kind of cool here? Let's get an FM sound. from Platts. Let's do that. Volt per octave into volt per octave. And then I'm going to send the gate out straight into the trigger input. Now, let's try this in the Aurora first. I hear you. You exist. But you are far too low. And there's way too much reverb on that. MS20 dual filter is not the best. Do you know why? Because the best is a construct of your own experiences and needs. What is this best? Come on, man. Best? Okay, yeah, we need to tune this up. Jesus, you're loud. Why are you so loud? Well, yeah, of course. You're absolutely right. And I was thinking about it today. I'm like, man, I've never used my MS20 to connect it to my modular, which is really kind of stupid. And yet, it has a completely different standard of, like, pitch control, right? It's like hertz per volt, or hertz per octave, or volt per hertz, or some shit like that. And I'm like, why? Now, actually, there's a solution. I'm pretty sure the Vector can just do that. And if not, I have the MIDI, you know, because it's my, it's an MS20 Mini, you know, it's a newer one. But, okay, one note, that's it? Oh, that's right, because it's on dice mode. I want to turn off dice. That's too high. Okay, now. Hey, Starman, what's going on? Bro! I want something plucky. There we go. There it is. Oh, yeah? Well, the original 2600s had a Moog ladder filter on them, and then they got sued because they basically stole Bob Moog's design. So STG Sound Labs has a module called the post-lawsuit filter. That's the ARP filter after that, and they had to come up with their own circuit, which has a really nice sound. It's got this kind of liquidy, I don't know. I like the original ARP filter, or not the original, the second one. So reverb-wise, what you're hearing is just the Aurora. Yeah. Like, that's without. And then with. It's really nice. This is the feedback delay network update. Or side date. Ooh. Yeah, but see, then if we crank up the rests and basically give it like a 25% probability of playing, then we crank up the time for the reverb and the blur and all of the stuff. No, the Nautilus is the delay version. The Aurora is the reverb version. Hey, Nick. So that's kind of lovely right there. Now, what if we modulate some stuff? What does the morph do? Hello? Play something. Oh my god. Oh. It's got an LFO. So if we crank that up. Hello. Oh no, it's decay time. Okay, so we don't really want that lasting. Timbre would be good to modulate, I guess. We'll go big cable. Way up to this guy. Pew. Turn down the timbre control. There we go. Okay. Yeah, nice. You know what I think? In retrospect, I was thinking about what I was doing at the time, and I think I had my envelope going into the trigger control instead of the level. And I'm wondering if that had something to do with it. Because, you know, if an envelope is rising, you're not really getting a clean trigger signal. It's not a square wave. It's not a pulse, you know. It's so maybe it was like triggering it multiple times, trying to compensate or something, like sensing, oh, I've got a rising voltage here. Let's just hit it if, you know, overloaded the poor little processor. Once I switched it, I realized that midstream, and I switched it over to the level control, that it stopped crashing. So that it may just be a software bug. It'd be interesting. Yeah, it'd be interesting to try. See what your results were. I was just giving it a fast attack and a medium length decay envelope, just a standard ping kind of an envelope, you know. Yeah, it just wasn't happy. Yeah, and then each of the 3 FM engines has 32 presets individually. Yeah, no, I never did that. Okay, wait a minute. This thing isn't in tune. What's up with that? Let me check it with my tuna. That's a B flat. That's an A. Should be an A. It should be a B. No, C. There we go. That's going to help things a bit. Always helpful when your oscillators are actually tuned. We're going slow and spacey tonight, kids. I don't. Every time I use the low rents, I'm like, the fuck is that do? I don't know. The only thing I know is that like the lazy or the sloth's controls on it are like way slower than the sloths. You barely watch the animation move. It's like doing anything? Oh, it just moved a pixel. Oh, okay. I think I need to filter the output of the plats. To be completely honest, it's a little harsh. Yeah, harsh might be too harsh of a word to use when describing its harshness. It's a little pitchy. Yeah, are the frequencies like giving you a general speed indication? Okay, there we go. Alright, now we're going to give that filter a Sleuth's also. And honestly, we're going to give it the slowest one. And then let's give it a decently bidirectional signal here. So it just kind of surfaces every once in a while. Maybe it shoots out a couple of pings, and then it just goes away. Yeah, you know, I think we gotta just go to the Ornament and Crime page and look at their explanations on stuff. And there's no other way to really deal with it. The only thing I think I ever changed on that were just the general speeds from, you know, medium to slow to lazy to sloths to whatever, you know, all that stuff, and just let it do its thing. Well, also, take a second and there's a couple of cool videos that I found on Lorenz attractors, just explaining the math behind them, and it kind of helped with the sloths, just kind of understanding what the hell was going on. Yeah, so you know, because yeah, it's all mathematics. Equations. This is nice so far, but I think it would be a good thing to add another new voice or three. Let's use the red cables, shall we? How are we make voice? Me make voice in... Yeah, so it's getting a very, very slow, slothy signal here. So what we can do is give it a rare-ish envelope. I'm thinking for some kind of bass, but like a bass pulse, like a boom, just a little thing. Might be kind of cool. So that being the case... I may regret this decision later, but maybe not. Maybe we'll go with like a really low sine kind of thing. So, put this into a VCA. Then I think it's the Weston. Let's take that out for a quick second here. Shut the rest of this patch. So I don't know if anybody has seen this, by the way. There's some dude that came out with a video about like why he hates modular, why modular is stupid. And I'm sure it's all just a joke, but you know it isn't, of course. And I just think it's kind of funny because the stuff that he points to, I don't 100% disagree, which is weird. All right, are we in tune? Yes, we are. But we need to go down an octave. And now we're not in tune anymore. Motherfucker. Okay, let's get our TE, tonal energy back here. Boom. There we go. That's lovely. There we go. Okay. And then we can give it a volt per octave signal here. Or not. Okay. Okay. So again, if we stick this in a rare envelope, honestly, I'm going to slow the clock down too. Okay. Yeah. It would be fun to play with a really slow, jittery clock for the for the Turing machine. Let's do that. Let's give it a weird clock. Like, I guess just the T output here. Just let it chug on its own slowness for a while. See what happens. That being the case, this could probably go into regular pulse kind of thing. It's just super slow. Yeah, see, that's a problem. It's just too frequent. Yeah, that's kind of sort of what I'm going for. But the two problems that you have to solve are how to make this kind of sound. I guess I wouldn't even need to do that. I mean, I could just completely bypass this. Just put it like in here. But of course now it's just gonna not do shit for whatever reason. Come on, do shit. I would like to go down an octave. Okay. So yeah, now, though, we kind of want it to sound most of the time. At least a little. So that's our fundamental there. And we'll give it a little bit of CV. Oh god, my ears are rumbling. Get. All right, and then we go into clouds. Because, you know, clouds. There's no other reason than clouds. Because we've got it. It's all tucked away there nicely. It's all nice and small. Well, that's not what I expected. So that's droning, doing its thing. It's just on a negative voltage right now, so it's extremely quiet. I'm going to set up some real minimalist percussion with RB bowls and T-Networks. Actually, I'm going to put these into 2 mono channels. I don't really want to pan them as hard as they are. Stereo channel. Yeah, that's more like it. Just a little click. Yeah, I would like it to be way more random, sort of like spotty. That's probably because of the jitter. But what I can also do is throw a couple of sloths into the CV ends of that mixer. Okay, let's see. Let's just see what this does. I don't know. You might not even notice it. That sounds like a fine thing to modulate. Just a little bit. Granular feels like cheating sometimes. Yeah, that is the good question right there. Would Lubad make a huge difference in my rack? I don't know. Okay, but here's the deal. I'm gonna try and do something here. It's something weird. I think I don't do very much of. let's... Working on something here. Okay. So I used this mixer the correct way, and I built a patch component in Q mode and was just listening to it directly on phones. Now I can mix it in, but I gotta set up a trigger first, so I'm gonna do a weird thing here. I'm going to split off the T from the marbles, which is on a very slow rate and a jittery clock, right? Then I'm gonna run that into a clock divider. That's like divided by like 8. And then that's going to trigger this sample that plays sometime here. It's just a drone. It's a low drone. Is that it? Okay, let's trigger it more often just so I can actually, you know, hear it. Yeah, there it is. That's kind of dumb. that's not what I was looking for. Just a giant fart. Their ping is like a little on the loud side. both directions. This whole thing is pretty simple. That little sample, that thing, I don't know, it's not really cutting it for me. That was a little bit of a bust. Not getting much of is the bass. It's much better. You're back in my good graces, whatever those are. That's the Aurora on that ping. It's just ridiculous now.
the secret catchphrase. So that means you win nothing. Nothing in the box. You're so stupid.
Anybody else a fan of UHF? It's so hilariously dumb and dumbly hilarious. It's a Weird Al Yankovic movie. Gandhi 2. Give me a steak, rare. It's so good. Let's see what 8 does, granular delay. Feedback though. Kind of don't want it just hanging there for a while. Yeah, something seems weird with the first torpor sloths up here. Doesn't seem like it's actually maybe putting out anything. It's just a little disturbing. I'm gonna have to investigate that, unfortunately. should be doing something. Doesn't look like it is. Z works, but the problem is then it's opposite polarity with the one above it. So they're never together. kind of fun. It's pretty cosmic. It's pretty spacey. Now I want another Aurora. Damn it. No, next time I think I'm gonna try using it as a send effect, in place of the FX8. Next time I do an ambient session, at the very least, which might be like Sunday night. I don't know yet. I've been in ambient mood, you know. So, but yeah, that might be fun. Run it. That was my original intent with the Aurora. It was before I ever got the FX8. I had the black hole, and then I had the ZDSP in here, taking up all of this row, essentially. So, yeah, in the space of the ZDSP, I have this mixer and the Aurora and 2 FX8s, which is a hell of a lot more, like, versatile. So, anywho's, have a good night, y'all. Thanks for coming, and we'll see you soon down on the old spaceship